Yo, so you saying about Omar? Something about Omar being flown out or what have you?
Yeah. I mean, when Omar like started coming out hard, like right when the internet was started popping, you know, and I don't even think he was like, I don't even think he went to a super major event where he won something until like way later, you know, like.
Right.
Like what's funny is I have a story about that too. Like the first BC1, maybe a week or two before, Thomas from Battle of the Year had called me and he was just like, "Yo, who do you think can come to this event? We're starting this event. It's like a Red Bull BC1." And I was like, well, what is that? And he's like, "Oh, it's a pretty big battle that's gonna happen in Switzerland." I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "So you need some representation from the U.S.?" He's like, "Yeah, a couple people had dropped out, you know." He's like, "I have like 2 slots. Like, do you know anybody that's down?" And I was like, "Well, you know, this kid Omar is making mad noise out here. You know, you probably holler at him." And then I think Iron Monkey was staying at my house, and I was like, "Well, fucking Monkey's down to battle."
right.
You know,
Monkey's always ready to battle.
and I think he had hollered at Bebe, and then so a lot of those guys got flown out on the spot, you know. So like, and you know, like,
bro.
I think before that, I think Monkey won, you know, one of the bigger events, which was like Pro-Am, and then like Omar said, he ended up winning BC1, which is probably his first major world title. I mean, that's probably one of the first major world titles that even happened anyway, because what the fuck was going on before that, you know? And like, and that was just on a whim, you know, like.
Yeah.
You know, it's you don't have to be the winner of something to you know, you just got to make mad noise. Like I went to like Rocksteady Anniversary 98, and I think I lost like first or second round, but I fucking got to get off my shit, and everybody in that place was like asking me who the fuck I am, where I'm from, and I was politicking with everybody. You know what I mean?
Word.
I mean, I didn't even get close to winning, but I did some shit that nobody else can do. And that made everybody hit me up and
remember you.
Yeah, and then I was hitting the ciphers, and like, you just got to go out with the intention of getting your shit off, you know, getting your name out there. Like I went in, I go into everything with the state of mind of like a graffiti writer. I want to get up everywhere. That's my intention for the internet, as far as getting my freestyle session shit out, my clothes out. I want to be up everywhere. When I go to a jam, I want to see my shit everywhere. You know what I mean? So, you know, as far as breaking is concerned, like, you want to do that too. You want to hit every cipher. You ain't got to be in like one cipher for an hour. You can hit like every damn cipher, do some cool shit in every one, and blow everybody's minds, and you know, do your thing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I would like to see more B-boys and B-girls create their own content as well, right? I mean, the more we do, the better, you know, and have a cameraman.
When they do, I think they have more respect for the people that do make it.
Exactly. You know, it's that process.
That shit is hard work. And you know, like a lot of the cameramen that are doing it are actually B-boys too, and they don't want to be sitting on their ass fucking filming your ass for the whole fucking event. They just do it because they really love this shit. You know? So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's about, you know, leveraging different events or wins or even loss. You know, even with the Massive Monkey versus Zulu Kings. I mean, we lost that event, freestyle session. We lost freestyle session 11. We came in there with the goal like, yo, let's be the first back-to-back champion, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then we lost in the semifinal, and it's all good and dandy, you know what I'm saying? But then the Massive Monkeys concrete battle came about.
But still being top 4 after you won the year before, that's still like major noise.
Right.
And even exactly. Like I think that year or the year after, you guys like went to France for an event. Yeah. And I think I was one of the judges at the event in France, and like, a lot of opportunities come from just making fucking a lot of noise. You know what I'm
saying? Omar says, "Nah, fuck that." Omar is trolling, bro. but that we took advantage of that battle, like the Master Monkeys and Zulu Kings, and both crew took advantage of that, and then we kind of like promoted ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And in a way, it got.
I mean, entering. I feel like the big stages are for that, is to get your brand out there, let people know what time it is with you. If you happen to win, cool. If you don't, I mean, man, it's breaking. Man. It's getting judged. You're getting judged, and like there is a lot at stake, though. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes it all irons out, man. Like the things that come from these opportunities are what much more fruitful than the prize can be sometimes. You know what I mean? So
Omar said he was hustling DVDs, MZK vs. Master Monkeys. Yo, but yeah, man. But yeah, that's the key thing though for new generation B-boys and B-girls, right? Is hey, come in there with the mindset of no doubt your goal is to win. But don't start like online politics of this and that because of the judging or this, just leverage your time there, of creating content and using, all the different media platform to build up your brand, as an artist. So
I mean,
that's the key thing.
There wasn't even that before.
Yeah, exactly. There wasn't. I mean, if you think about it, back then, a lot of crews like create DVDs and stuff, right? You got the California, you got, Rough State was doing that thing, I mean, everybody was hustling, like from B-boys to
everybody was making their own videos and slanging them, and
yeah.
I used to even distribute those and everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to ask you, is about your travels, right? I feel like you travel a lot, and maybe you have some tips for the new generation, of traveling, worldwide, what have you. Is there any tips that you can give them?
Well, sorry, fucking somebody from like Taiwan.
Yeah, it's all good. Are there any tips that you can give to the new generation of when they start traveling? Is there any tips that you can give them?
I mean, back in the day, man, I would just go online or try to find the cheapest ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give a fuck about anything else. I just had to get to the other city. Sometimes we would go to the other city, not even have a place to stay until we got to the jam. So when we got to the jam, we had to politic with cats and be like, yo, where are you staying at? Oh, you stay down the street? What's good? Can you take care of us? Like, what's up? If you take care of us, if you come to San Diego, we'll take care of you. Just network. I mean, the beautiful thing now is that you can network before you even go somewhere. You can meet mad people on Facebook. You can meet mad people on, discussions like this, but like just follow up with people, politic with cats, go to big events and meet mad people, and you'll find out where your network will tell you where you can go. You know what I mean? Like say like somebody's coming to freestyle session, you come to freestyle, you can actually meet somebody from Japan, New York, freaking Taiwan, China, and if you meet somebody and have a solid connection with some folks, like you'll have a place to stay.
Yeah,
or you'll have the best tour guide ever. You find a place that's cheap to stay, and you'll have somebody just take you around. And I mean, that's what it's about. That's the journey. That's the fun part of breaking. That's the
beauty of it. Yeah, it's to connecting through traveling.
Yeah.
Is there a routine I usually do, like packing to,
I just load up as much time zone. I just load up as much merch in my bags as possible.
That's that hustle mentality right there. Like, forget what I'm wearing. I'm gonna put my product in there. Like, I'm just gonna bring 2 shirts for me to wear, but I'm gonna bring 100 shirts to sell.
I don't even bring I don't even bring pants. I only bring like one pair of jeans. I'm wearing the same jeans the whole time.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. It's that hustle, you know? And that's the thing that people need to understand. Cros get where he's at today is not to just, you know, whatever. It's, there's a lot of hard work going behind the scene that we all don't even see, you know? And so that's my message to the new generation is like, man, work your ass off. You know?
I mean, there's just ways to navigate, you know? There's you know, like you said, there's ways to make things easier for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, definitely when you're traveling, you know, you want to don't do like I was doing, but like, you know, you could do that weeks before and kind of plan where you're gonna go, who you're gonna see, who you're gonna link up with. You know, you can. I mean, nowadays you could go online and find out all the things to do in a certain city, make a list, knock it out. Like, you know what I mean? What's the best places to take pictures at, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. Like, there's any list, there's fucking, you just ask Google the question. What's the best shit in New York? And it'll tell you. Exactly like that, too. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So.
How do you deal with...
I think a lot of people don't use the internet the right way sometimes. Like, they miss it a lot.
I feel you. Yeah, how do you deal with like time zone differences? You know, as much as you travel, right? You can be in Tokyo 1 minute and all of a sudden you go to Europe and then back somewhere else and then back to US. How do you deal with that, bro?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I used to think like just staying up and then sleeping the whole time on the plane would work. And it used to work all right, but it's been fucking me up lately. And I actually read some articles where it said that it's better to get a full night's rest and then just go anyway. And then once you hit, you know, the time zone that you're going to, like go outside and eat on their schedule, and you know what I mean? Because your body gets tuned into like, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, dark and light. So if it's light, like the other day, I came back from Silverback, and I was in like 5 different time zones. You know, like a couple weeks ago I was in Taiwan, then I went all the way to like Israel, and then I went to France, and then I went to back home, and then I went to Philly. So that's like back and forth. So when I got back home from Philly, I slept the entire way on the flight back, and I got back home at like 11. I came home and I was trying to go to sleep and I couldn't, so I just started working. Next thing you know, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, I had to go to LA at like 8, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drive now. I ended up staying awake for like 24 hours, dude. And it was because I was in the light, and my body kind of adjusted, you know.
Wow, man. 24 hours, bro. You was done though, right?
Yes, I was super done. I was super done.
Yeah, you was done, like snoring like that Little Rock.
Yeah, I wasn't snoring because I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah, Little Rock just...
I bet I was snoring that night though, for sure.
Man, word. Yeah, so freestyle session is this weekend, y'all. Starts on Saturday.
Yeah, literally, like my first guest is at the hotel, and they're like, I don't see my name on the list. So.
Oh wow! So you gotta take care of that. Yeah, man. I know you're a busy dude. You know, when are you going up to LA? Thursday or?
I go. I go up like Thursday, maybe Wednesday.
Okay.
I got a lot of merch that I'm waiting on, so just waiting for that, you know. Disrespecting for that, sorry. It'll be disrespecting when you're battling Omar and I'm snoring.
Word. So to in closing, do you have any advice for the new generation, to even current generation or even the old generation, on how we can move forward, you know, the culture, you know, collectively? without all the huffing and puffing and fussing.
I think just dropping the egos. Dropping the egos. We're all here to build. We all love the same shit. So having conversations like this, how hard is it? Like, I don't even think Tyquan, like, we've been in a lot of places, but we probably haven't had this long of a conversation ever.
Right.
But
exactly.
Conversations like this are easy to come by. Like, you just go break bread with people, if you're in another event, or you're not even at an event, like just cruising through another city and you know that somebody's there, like just reach out to them, or, you know what I mean? I went to like Venice Beach and like chopped it up with K-Mel. I actually helped him do like a little board for his street shows, and I just sent it to him actually in the midst of all this shit that I'm doing. I was like, yo, I'm really busy, but I'm going to get this done for you because I told you I was going to do it. And he like waited to do it, like asked me about it, like right at Freestyle session time. But yeah, I hooked him up. But like, like just dropping the egos, man, and just like, you got to like know what the other person's thinking too. Not everybody's going to think a same way. Even if you're a b-boy, you're not going to all think the same way. Like, you're going to think some things are whack, and you're going to think like some things. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we all have different tastes in women. We all have different tastes in food. We all have different tastes in dancing. We all have different tastes in music. We have different tastes in everything. So you just have to accept, what other people's thoughts are, and kind of like see it from their side. That's how I became a better judge too, is just deciphering other people, the way other people were digesting the dance. Like, like a lot of times me and Storm used to go opposite ways a lot, but I would ask him, I was like, well, why do you think this guy went that way? And he was just like, yo, man, like that dude was doing shit that not that many people in the world could do. It probably took him like a couple of years to get that shit down. And the guy on the left, he did all right, but a lot of people are doing that, so that was his thought. And then me, I'm like, yo, that dude was like rocking, like he was listening to music or whatever, so like you view it differently, but that's why you have three judges. You have to have multiple viewpoints, and the person that gets the more viewpoints fucking wins.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's just the bottom line, like, so I think people just need to, like, it's okay to question, but you just don't be disrespectful in the questions, like, or how you're questioning. Like, you can't just be like asking a question and your tone is just like, I know whatever I don't know whatever you say is whack. You gotta ask, like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna drop my ego and I want to know truthfully what you think about something, and I want to get in your mind. I want to know what's up. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe you might change the way you look at things. Like it always goes both ways. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's all about the approach, and that's the thing that I brought up with my past guests is, we just got to move forward in a way. It's like on the dance floor, yeah, we can go all out, what have you, we can battle this and that, but after the battle is done, it's like drop the fucking ego, drop the pride, and move forward in a way that we can build, and that's the reason why I kind of like start doing this conversation, bridge the gap. I call it bridge the gap, meaning, we got to build bridges, instead of just,
even me and you are going to have more close mentalities than, let's say, like people that are like 20 years younger than us, like, but like even with the youth, like I even ask them a lot of times, like what
exactly,
and like, like even with music, like why this, why that, like, and sometimes when you have these conversations, you'll find out that your mentality is almost closer than you actually thought it was. You know what I mean? And that you see their view or why they view things a certain way, and you gain more of a respect. And once everybody has more respect for each other, then we can collectively move forward. Because like right now, it's like it's a lot of this. Like, I mean, it's always been like that. It's always been like that. I feel like there's only a couple people that are kind of like, button heads, but like, that just gives off the wrong vibe for people. Like, especially when it's prominent figures in the scene, like acting like little fucking kids, and you know what I mean?
It's man. Like, it's I don't want to get into that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
but that's what I'm saying. That like, you don't want to play into that just because you're, someone's fan or like, like I've come to find out like, a lot of my heroes in the dance like business lives were just like super whack with it, and like it is what it is, like it's just education and finding out like what it is that makes business move and marketing and just the different tactics that you need to have to freaking survive in this day and age. Because it's a totally different. When people say it's different, hell the fuck yeah, it's different.
Right.
Is the 90s better? I felt like the 90s was better, but I mean, how many things that are better now than they were in the 90s? There was plenty. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we didn't have cell phones back then. We didn't have the internet how we had it. Like, like we didn't have freaking networking how we have it. Like, literally, you don't even have to get out of the house anymore. Like, before for me to, like, get a judge, I had to go fly somewhere and actually deal with the motherfucker before I could even begin to even feel like I have him as a judge or something. You know what I mean? Like, so, there's just a lot of tools at our disposal now, and we just have to use them, and then also shift our mentality because things are way different now.
Yeah. And that's the focus, with these conversations that's the purpose behind it is, get cats like yourself who's been in the game, but also get new generations' point of view as well. Like last week I had Natty, Light of Shaolin Productions. She's a new wave of, of promoters that's coming to the scene, and I want to get her perspective on, and next week I'm going to have Wana, and then the week after I'm going to have Zik, so I want to get different perspective from different generations. So when people view this, they can at least learn something, even the older generation, hopefully this talk.
I mean, even with your guests, like you're being non-biased, like you're just going off of names in the scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly, bro. And that's the thing.
You could easily just have all of MZK like week after next. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm sure you're gonna have them eventually, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's dope.
Yeah.
You're like getting different angles, like I said. And I feel like even for you, like having these conversations with people, you start to respect them a little bit more, and you start to see things in their view versus what you did before you even had set out to even do this program. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Definitely, bro. Definitely. You hit it. And that's the whole point is, like I told my past guests, every conversation I learned something from it, right? I hope people utilize, these conversations to change their mentality, that assumption, right? Assumption to the egos.
I mean, sometimes when you just listen to it, you change it subconsciously. You know what I mean? It's not like you're saying, "Oh, I'm going to change my view." It's just going out and having conversations with people changes the view.
Right.
You learn something new, whether you want to admit it or not. Like you do. You know what I mean? So I mean, for me, I'm out like every other weekend at a jam, and I'm chopping it up with cats, and I'm getting different views of everything, worldly views, even outside of Breakin. You know what I mean? Like all different things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's we should have more conversation, more dialogue with each other, and that's the thing that I want to bring to the table, and hopefully, we can all just learn, and build, man. Honestly, like just build and how we can move forward, as a collective, right? Because you've been in the game.
I mean, for me, I've always had the scene in mind. Even when I shouldn't have sometimes for myself. You know what I mean? Like I speak for a lot of people when I'm doing things and moving certain ways. You know what I mean? Like the Olympics thing. I didn't go into the Olympics thing like I wanted that fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Like I went in that thing like, okay, well, I'm sure somebody's going to do a great job. You know what I mean? Like we went to that meeting. We're just like, yo, I want to meet this guy that's doing this, and let's like you said, let's talk to him and let's see where he's coming from. And at the end of the meeting, man, I respected the dude 100%. I thought whatever he was telling me was cool. Like, and I'm a good judge of character. You know, like I feel like I have a good judge of character, and if I have a conversation with you, I can kind of figure, you know, if you're being shady or not. And dude was being that cool. He had the culture in mind when he wanted to do the event in the Olympics, and that's what happened. So, you know, job well done to Thomas and John and all those guys that were doing the event. And, you know, for me, I didn't do crazy a lot of stuff for it, but I was on every email making sure, like, you know, I was in there. I was tapped in, and I was like, okay, this looks good.
Give you inputs.
Let me input on some of this. Let me give some ideas. And, you know, I haven't pulled out from judging the Youth Olympics because I didn't want people thinking like, oh, he's just putting himself on. You know what I mean? Like, because I thought my job was going to be a little bit more. I probably, in hindsight, I should have probably took the job because it paid all right. But you know, like I said, I extended the invite to other people because you know that's one of the gripes, right? People's like, oh, the same people are doing this and the same people are doing that. So I took that into perspective and I was like, all right, cool. I'll just pass, man. I don't want other people just thinking like, oh, Cros is getting all the opportunities, like, you know, like
right.
It's like whatever, like you know.
I feel you, bro. Well, yeah, man. You know, that's why I invite you on. Hopefully, you know, people that might assume may watch this conversation and you know, have a different perspective of you now, you know. Hope and that's the thing that I wanna to tell people out there, you know, just don't assume. Get with the cat that you might assume something of them and build instead of destroy, right?
I mean, hopefully, I mean, like I said, man, when you watch video and you see people talk and whatever, like like I said, when I talk to people, like I'm like a good judge of character, so. I hope people like see that I'm like about my shit. Like I'm over here answering questions and I'm like over here trying to help somebody at a hotel in LA right now.
Yeah, I feel you.
I hung up and just did it, but you know, I promised that I'll be on the show and stuff. But
yeah, no doubt, bro.
You know, like yeah, man, it's all about just chatting it up with people, man. Like if there's somebody that, you know, you're kind of questioning their methods on doing things, like question them, like in person. You know, a lot of shit gets misconstrued online. You know what I mean? Like, just talking to somebody in person, like you could knock it out like hella quick versus like trying to type and looking like an asshole, like getting all these fucking misspellings and all that shit.
I'm not right.
People fresh out of school, like these guys don't even know English. Like, what are they talking about?
But yo, Cros, I'm gonna let you go because I know you're a busy man right now. You know, Freestyle session. But man, I wanna give a shout out to you. Thank you for everything. You know, putting in the game, into the culture, what have you. And salute to you.
For the culture, man. It's for the culture. I
for the
they like
for the culture.
They took that shit from us. Like,
yo, respect to you, Cros. You know, Freestyle session 21 this weekend, y'all. Come through and do it up. All right, fam. Get at me. We'll build more, yo. All right.
We're up. All right.
All right. Peace.